My guest today has lived 102 years on this earth. She's a remarkable woman.
When people talk about healing, it's mostly about medicines, hospitals, doctors, and everything relating to healthcare and drugs. But here is a different take on healing. Where one doctor is enough to shut down the old ideas of the hospital, who is this doctor? Her name is Dr. McGarry. And has this method worked for her? Well, she is over 100 years old, and she is still very healthy. Join us as we uncover life's most intriguing secrets from the wisdom of a remarkable 103-year-old doctor. Number 1. The Great 5 L's. Dr. Gladys McGarry, a 103-year-old doctor, came up with extremely enlightening secrets about life and health. She believes that whatever healing we need begins within ourselves, so we must love ourselves to heal. She regarded humans as having received dominion over the earth from the supreme power as a gift of free will. But she knows this dominion has brought devastation to the planet because sometimes it has been interpreted to mean domination. From her view, our true humanity is all about our ability to grasp our inner strength and realize that we are the ones who can make the world better by playing a significant role in healing. Dr. McGarry breaks down the 5 L's, starting from the first 2, which are life and love.
What I call 5 L's. The first one is life and love.
She concludes that life and love are like the connected beings between the pregnant mother and the baby inside her. Demonstrating this analogy, she states that just as a baby discovers the sense of self after its first breath, we all come into our own the moment we begin to acknowledge the blending of lives and the unity of love. The distinguished doctor, Dr. Gladys McGarry, further explains 3 other crucial components for understanding ourselves and our world. Lastly, the L is laughter, in which Dr. McGarry contrasts laughter without love being malicious and severe, with laughter with love bringing joy and happiness. She explains labor as the 4th L, stating that labor is not rewarding if no love is involved, as it's just going through the motions and not having any real connection to it. On the other hand, love changes the bearable into pleasure. So those who enjoy singing, painting, or any other activity that makes the heart happy would be compelled to do their labor with utmost devotion. The next L, highlighted, is listening, and Dr. McGarry differentiates between meaningless, empty listening and listening with love, and thus understanding. Love, for her, brings meaning to the sounds we hear and is a gateway to understanding life, even in its newest ramifications. In summary, Dr. McGarry brings forward a view where these 5 L's, life, love, laughter, labor, and listening, guide and clarify the concept of life. In the interview, she stresses her triple roles as a teacher, doctor, and writer with her latest book, The Well-Lived Life, in which she reveals the 6 secrets of living a fulfilling life. When her future book's advertising was mentioned, she expressed the thought that she wanted readers to get the best of what the book offered. Dr. Gladys McGarry highlights the teaching and essence of healing as love. She explains that we need to allow our energy to flow and help others. She experiences a 2-way process where helping others helps her, and she emphasizes that there is this flow in life. In her description of life flow, Dr. McGarry urges spending time finding what she refers to as the light. Using an example, she says there are some light points when one walks with a flashlight in a dark lane. When she shines the light on them, the lights gain importance. This metaphor represents how helping others, even in small ways, effectively has a multiplier effect of shining the light on the collective process. Dr. McGarry illustrates an example of walking into darkness by saying that she is using her flashlight to help her find her way. She encounters gray lights in her path, but while she illuminates them, they shine in all colors. This visual allegory highlights the idea that by reaching out and utilizing every chance to support, people minimize the darkness and help to increase the shared light. Dr. McGarry's methods are undoubtedly unconventional, but she firmly believes in their effectiveness. Her approach to healing has been greatly inspired by the teachings of great men like Gandhi. How did Gandhi influence her method of healing? Number 2, meeting. A great teacher, Gandhi. Dr. Gladys McGarry described the warmth of her encounter with Mahatma Gandhi when she was only 10 years old, just before her family left India. Looking out the train window, she noticed Gandhi walking in front of the crowd with a loincloth and staff tied to his waist. Fate took an unexpected turn when a little girl gave him a flower. Gandhi looked up, and their eyes met. Dr. McGarry recounts a wordless communion, an exchange of profound love that left an indelible mark on her. In 3 decades, the parents of Safiya were working with Gandhi when the country went through a horrifying period of partition between Hindus and Muslims. Her parents ran a medical jeep, and her father joined him on the platform when Gandhi spoke. The partnership progressed to a friendship, indicated by the gifts of a cashmere blue shawl for her mother and a cashmere blanket for her father. She considers this family connection to be an extension of the spark that Gandhi instilled during childhood. The bond is still a monument, and we become more sensitive when we do not dismiss deep feelings. She underlines the significance of recognizing such bonds, for they are the ones that give people the chance to build relationships for a longer period of time. Another example of applying Gandhi's principle to our lives, according to Dr. McGarry, is through communication with ordinary people, which we often overlook. She recalls looking at people she does not know and establishing a link with them. In these circumstances, she emphasizes the life-changing power of a smile and a heartfelt salutation, similar to Gandhi's way of treating others. Pondering back at her legacy, Dr. McGarry says that all her life revolves around the cardinal virtue of love. For her, love is the foundation of curing and living. She highlights the role of love in continuously flowing, for it is the force that brings us to life. In a world where being recognized and connected are 2 pivotal points, she sees the legacy at the heart of everything: love in the journey of healing and life. In this interview, she provided more than enough details about herself. Since Dr. Gladys' teachings are centered around humility and love, does this mean that those are the secrets to longevity? What is needed to guarantee longevity? Number 3. The secret keys to longevity. Dr. Gladys McGarry, the mother of holistic medicine, gave a powerful message of healing, love, and being alive. Having practiced for 70 years, she established the American Holistic Medical Association, laying the foundation for fundamental reform in healthcare and positive self-care. In an interview on The Icons by Moive, Dr. McGarry shares her views on the current state of health and the myriad of choices causing an issue for people. She indicates that fear and confusion are the main causes of such a struggle, and that this problem is even more acute for the younger people, dazzled by the diversity of the choices available. In response to the question about the secret to her longevity, she credits it to her continuous quest to comprehend the real core of the healing process. She forces us to realize that internal healing starts with us, repeating her saying that love and life are the essence of the process. Dr. McGarry mentions a significant encounter with Mahatma Gandhi during her childhood, stressing that an inexplicable connection and recognition of love resulted from this exchange. In addition, her job experience as a holistic practitioner reaffirms her dedication to making people more aware of the profound aspects of healing. When answering what healing is, Dr. McGarry says again that all healing is based on ourselves. She brings up the notion of the 5 L's: life, love, laughter, labor, and listening, that make the healing process interdependent. The key message of Dr. McGarry revolves around recognizing that healing is the most personal experience. For her, the world is all about choices, and she knows one needs to prioritize and focus on the essential elements of love and the substance of life. As the mother of holistic medicine, she has continued to be an inspiration and mentor to us, sharing her priceless knowledge with all those seeking the path to true and lasting wellness. Dr. Gladys McGarry pushes the concept of healing even further by going to the beginning, to ourselves. Through her discourse, she narrates a wise conversation with her son, a physician. He is a retired orthopedic surgeon. The moment her son asked her about the fear of having other people's lives in his hands, she had an illuminating perspective to offer. In her advice to her son, Dr. McGarry shows that healing is not only the responsibility of surgeons. She helps him come to see that, though he may be a surgical orthopedist, according to her, actual healing requires teaming up with the self-healing ability that the patient possesses. She calls this collaboration the physician within the patient. Thus, the patient can understand and internalize the treatment, improving healing. She emphasizes the importance of communication and empathy between the doctor and the patient. Dr. McGarry highlights that for treatment to be effective, the patient must grasp and relate to the treatment plan. She is aware of each patient's stages and emphasizes that it is just as important to collaborate among medical experts as it is to trust the inherent healing power within each patient. Dr. McGarry has been a true blessing to many for decades. Her unique healing method has always emphasized the connection between traditional medicine and modern techniques. However, some need help to relate to this approach. To shed more light on her method, let's delve into her past and better understand her journey. Number 4. Schooling in War. Dr. McGarry gives a historical background, remembering her studies while working as a doctor during World War II. She credits the journey of holistic medicine, a system she founded with some partners. Specifically, she reports how she had a 2-year think on the spelling of holistic, which showed that the word needed further deep pondering. The choice arose from the acknowledgement of the fact that the maternal words health, healing, and holy served as an exposition of the invisible aspect of life that was ignored in conventional medical training. She reminisces on her time as a pioneer in the field of science, especially as a woman in a setting that presents a lot of obstacles. As a pioneer of the only women's medical college in the country in wartime, she depicts a situation that demanded complete brutality, cunning, and intelligence from female students. However, only half of the original entering class of 50 students managed to graduate, making the competition with male schoolmates oppressive. Facing criticism for asking unusual questions, the doctor's school twice dispatched her to a psychiatrist. She did not stop there, even though the mindset in medicine was focused on curing diseases as much as possible, and how pain can be eliminated as a necessity in the war. At that moment, medicine was very much connected to the vibe of death and war, and, as a result, the overriding character of medicine was dictated by that. On top of this matter, however, Dr. McGarry brings forth radical ideas that are up to date, even at present. She controverts the old-school views of healing, advocating that it only starts with individuals. This point of view, highlighting the spiritual side instead of just the medical treatment of disease or its removal, was ahead of its time. When she was asked about being a trailblazer, Dr. McGarry responded by saying that from the time she was young, she knew that she was going to be a doctor, as her father was one, and her mother was a medical missionary in India. She mentions a fantastic desire to import the idea of holistic medicine, despite all the rejection of these new concepts she observed throughout her work. She remembers being in a line for groceries in Scottsdale and hearing the store speaker announce an upcoming workshop on holistic healthcare. This incident shows us how holistic ideas are included in the mass media dialogue. If nothing else, Dr. McGarry's story proves that resilience and determination can turn an innovative idea into a staple of the healthcare system that goes way beyond mere medical practice. Her long-lived mission to explore the inner parts of recovery still stimulates and shapes the path of medicine. Nearly 15-20 years ago, Dr. Gladys McGarry was amused when she heard the announcement in the store channel that a hardware store claimed to be a holistic hardware store. This thought, she expresses, demonstrates the popularity of the word holistic, but with a little grounding in what the concept signifies. Then she introduces the phrase living medicine, which, in her opinion, takes the next step in understanding healing by pointing out that the essence of life is the essence of healing. According to her, this power of living medicine, which encourages the acceptance of the idea that the innate power within each of us can be beneficial and healing, has been eagerly embraced by almost every person. Nevertheless, she acknowledges the difficulty of fully realizing that particular notion. This struggle, she argues, is because we don't have an idea about ourselves or why we were created. She expresses it as the fact that a higher power entrusted humans with the role of master over the earth and the exclusive privilege of freedom. Nonetheless, she ponders that this dominion is often misconstrued as domination, and the resultant misplaced sense of authority usually leads to destructive behaviors, which in turn have adverse impacts on the planet. Her ideas are related to the need for a new understanding that acknowledges the inner power in oneself and accepts a wider and holistic picture of healing that goes beyond the boundaries of conventional medicine. Through practicing living medicine, Dr. McGarry thinks that people can use their inner powers and be part of a better and more peaceful connection with themselves and the world they surround themselves with. Dr. Gladys McGarry stresses that the human relationship is the essence of healing and that the individual should therefore be active in their healing process. The author puts a great deal of emphasis on communicative understanding between the healthcare experts and the patients, and he illustrates that the beginning of the healing process is the patient's will and understanding. She is convinced that if people realize and live these components, they can feel enlightenment related to themselves, life, and people. Thinking about people's problems, she realizes that fear and a lack of knowledge of one's power are the most common obstacles. Dr. Gladys McGarry then proceeded to recount a time when she had a difficult chapter in her childhood. She was an undiagnosed dyslexic, and she got the name class dummy. She expresses the struggle of reading and how the words and figures refuse to stay still on the page. Although dyslexia in her time was unknown, she had to endure a label like being a class idiot, which was even repeated in first grade. Such an experience greatly impacted her, causing what she called deep soul damage. Although the school didn't give him peace, there was comfort and support at home. The uniqueness of her home and school atmosphere was quite a complex emotional sphere for her. Finally, in third grade, it happened. Everything seemed to change. It was the third grade teacher of Dr. McGarry who somehow caught the spark in her, which had thus far been seen by no one, and named her class governor. Thus, she took advantage of her assets in discourse, narration, and leadership, which were vividly different from her educational problems. While she has achieved much in different areas, Dr. McGarry says it wasn't until she was 93 years old and had retired as a professor and a lecturer that she finally got a voice and began to liberate herself from the class dummy label. She found a new selflessness in a dream, enabling her to trust her voice, regardless of constant reassurance or validation. Becoming healthy and striving to be the best version of oneself requires dedication and perseverance. No matter how determined one may be to make the right choices, all efforts can go to waste without adopting a never give up attitude. What is the never give up mantra? Number 5, never give up mantra. The famous line, never give up, which Dr. McGarry's father conveyed to her as a child, was because he would challenge her whenever she expressed frustration that she wanted to quit. His question, "Are you a quitter?" made an indelible mark on her, inspiring her resilience and courage. It became her mantra, a guiding light that helped her endure challenges and fatigue. The power of dreams combined with the phrase "never give up" has greatly impacted how Dr. McGarry sees herself. The voyage reflects upon the inner strength and self-exploration that a person can acquire, along with discovering one's individuality. Dr. Gladys McGarry points out the power of the knowledge we are giving our children and tells us about her tradition, which is telling us to not be prone to stress, not to keep problems inside ourselves, and not to turn them against ourselves. Reflecting on her life's philosophy, she introduces the 5 L's: life, love, laughter, labor, and listening. The first 2 L's of life and love are interconnected and cannot be separated. Dr. McGarry says the totality of living and loving is more valuable. In this respect, she emphasizes the power of laughter, by explaining that it is not love, but rather, without love, it can be destructive, as wars are started due to it. On the other hand, love makes laughter a very happy and joyful experience. Then she spoke of labor, pointing out the similarities between painting, singing, and love, by saying that love gives meaning to labor. The last L, listening, is distinguished in that listening without love is recognized as the emptiness of sound, while listening with love is comprehension. These methods' simplicity and accessibility make them highly relatable to everyone. However, it's important to consider their practicality before implementing them. Number 6. A heartfelt thanks. This philosophy of hers has a constant thread of love woven through all its parts. Dr. McGarry's encounters, including the sash given to her at age 86 by an Afghan woman, demonstrate the unity of love. She outlines her contribution to addressing maternal health care in Afghanistan, highlighting how to understand women's experiences and include love in the healthcare system. Despite the country being earmarked as intrinsically unsuitable for preventative care, Dr. Gladys McGarry's visit and lecture shed light on the changes that have taken place where practices were previously deemed as such. The woman explained that the difficult labor itself was caused by old cultural beliefs, which consequently led to hypercalcemia and muscle spasms that made it impossible for women to push during childbirth. Dr. McGarry explained the reproductive process to these women through a blackboard, thus ensuring the women had adequate knowledge of the process. The crucial part, however, came at a time when one woman asked about sperm and egg numbers and just started to grasp the meaning of their decisions concerning childbirth. Thus, this enlightenment helped women gain more control over their bodies. Dr. McGarry's tremendous contribution led to radical reform, with most women becoming instructors to put the knowledge into practice within 6 months. One last action from Dr. McGarry was the distribution of safety pins, simple items that these women cherished. Giving such a little gift has proved exceptional because it symbolizes these women's immense joy and thankfulness. On one occasion, an elderly lady, expressing her gratitude, handed Dr. McGarry her wedding vest, a most personal and symbolic token of her life. Lived life, Dr. Gladys McGarry shares 6 secrets that she has gotten from taming her hardships and solving problems throughout her life. She intends to lead people toward a more meaningful life through teaching. The stories are a source of inspiration and wisdom, and they guide readers on how they can integrate these aspects into their lives to create a life rich with meaning. Dr. McGarry aspires that the readers will be encouraged by these secrets, putting them into practice. The profound revelations expressed in the book intend to give people the tools to pursue a life tightly tied to the essence of being, love, and authenticity. The doctor's own lifestyle and appearance are a testament to the effectiveness of her methods. Despite being over a century old, she remains remarkably healthy. This begs the question: what kind of routine does one follow to maintain such exceptional health well into old age? Number 7. Her routine to stay super healthy. Dr. Gladys McGarry attains mental and physical strength from everyday simple practices and regimes. In the morning, she begins with meditation and gentle stretching to establish a calming space for the next part of her day. Along with her everyday routine, she emphasizes drinking a lot of water and indulging in healthy and tasty meals that help her body and mind stay healthy. Routine light exercises help her stay flexible and lucid. In addition to that, Dr. McGarry likes to spend time outdoors, being in nature with clean air. Apart from her physical well-being, she also takes great care of her mental and emotional health by involving herself in various activities of her passion, such as reading, writing, and spending time with her loved ones. She appreciates the power of laughter and can always find some moments of happiness in the mundane. Dr. McGarry particularly holds the view that relaxation is crucial. She tries to go to bed early each night to rejuvenate her body and mind. Thinking the day over and stating what she is grateful for is a must in her bedtime routine. As Dr. Gladys McGarry goes about her daily routine, she stresses the need to move, which she acknowledges by ensuring she walks up the stairs to her bedroom daily. By walking around 3,800 steps in her house with a walker, she wants to underline the significance of physical activity. In the morning, she commences with a prayer, after which she eats protein-rich oatmeal, fresh organic fruits, and lactose-free milk. Her day varies depending on what point in life she is at, whether she is practicing medicine or having a chat like this one. Even though Dr. McGarry is already rich in her career and experiences, she is committed to actively spreading her message. She thinks she still has valuable lessons she needs to teach to those who lose their direction amid a wave of change. She tells people to get in touch with their real selves, their core consciousness. Dr. McGarry highlights the necessity of listening to one's dreams, knowing which foods contribute to health and overall well-being, and recognizing the variety of fresh and unpolluted food. Thankfully, she enjoys the luxury of tasty food. Besides, Dr. McGarry stresses the power of togetherness and mutual support. In her opinion, assisting other people is an essential element of self-assistance. She stresses the flow of the universe and the interlinkedness of spirits. As she conveys her words of wisdom to young adults, Dr. McGarry reminds them that they must search for joy, discover what makes them laugh, and figure out what brings true happiness to them. Like a symbol of a flashlight in the darkness of life, she argues that people should learn to look for signs and opportunities to extend a hand to others in need. When Gladys McGarry was 10, she had an amazing meeting with the famous Mahatma Gandhi. During their home leave to the USA, as her family was departing the train, she sat alone, saddened by the departure. Right in the crowd, she saw someone with a staff that looked like Gandhi. The little girl gave him a flower, and their eyes met the second he looked up. In that unaccountable instant, Dr. McGarry experienced a love connection like never before. A rare, transformative experience that left him with lasting marks. Recalling this interaction, Dr. McGarry emphasizes acknowledging profound moments and not dismissing them. Emma thinks it's important to be aware of our bonds with others, including those who seem lost in the world. A word of kindness or a smile can be painful in a positive way, just as the look of Mahatma Gandhi has been for her. Dr. McGarry appreciates that we are the same crew on the same ship. According to her, love is an ever-flowing stream, and we should reach out to one another. For her, acknowledging and recognizing each other's existence is the most important component of love flow and the lifeblood of our shared human world. Dr. Gladys McGarry, in her vision, is promoting love as an essential ingredient of healing. In the 7 decades of her professional work, she has conveyed that medicine will only be effective when dispensed with love. Dr. McGarry thinks that healing cannot be reduced to only fixing some things, but to embracing holism and the power of love and life. She then talks about a project entirely dedicated to living medicine in a village where the provision of personalized care and support runs deep. The blueprint for this village is being established at this moment as a model for similar communities across the world. Besides, Dr. McGarry wants mankind to cooperate with these principles and create a society where the starting point is love, life, and mutual help. What do you think of Dr. McGarry's philosophy? Do you think it is something that can be adopted by all? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you soon.